Hello and welcome to I Love Warhammer. This is hopefully continuing weekly streams, and got Ivrain. Got a slightly different setup here, where what I'm doing is rather than having my camera, which is my phone, on the desk, and trying to film from there, which makes it very hard to kind of get in close to see the details. What I've done is I have put on a baseball cap, and I have clipped my phone using the clips that are meant to be for my green screen to the hat, so that I can hold the model kind of here. So you guys get to see the model, and I get to paint closer up. Yeah, I get to kind of have I get to be in a more natural painting position, basically. So apologies for the fact that you can see my chin and lower lip in the corner. We can all try and ignore that. That'd be great. So, yeah, today, hopefully, we finish off Ivrain. Move that down a bit. And because last time we left Ivrain at the point where it's basically doing some of the finer details and tidying up the model. So today, let's start with, got here, contrast paint of Hexwraith Flame. And I think that should give a really lovely kind of ethereal look to some of these soul stones. And what I'm going to try and do is paint 1 in 3 this color. Good thing with contrast is just one thick coat rather than lots of thin coats. So 1, 2, 3 next. And then 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3 green. 1, 2, 3. So this one is green. And just like that, got some nice green soul stones. So green is, so then this one needs to be green. And then 1, 2, and then this one is green. Okay. And I'm going to do a lovely green soul stone in the middle on her chest plate. Then just scouring around for any others. So there are the ones in her hair, and there's one either side of the sword. So I'm going to do the sword ones in a different color. So let's focus on the ones in the hair. Again, let's do 1 in 3 being this green. So that's 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3. So now she's got some lovely green soul stones in her hair. I'm not going to do the same color scheme of 1 and 3 for the soul stones on the headdress. I'm going to pick a 4th color for those. I think that will look nicer. So for that, this camera's not working for me. Let's pop that down there the way we've done these streams. That's me knocking over the camera. Professionalism. Thy name is Why I Love Warhammer. Does mean, though, I can take off this hat that I was wearing. Okay. So that was Heckwraith Flame. To do the next set of Soul Stones, I'm going to use Gene Stealer Purple. Gene Stealer Purple is lovely and bright. Is it my favorite purple? No. Luxian purple is my favorite purple. The purple I used on the cloak. That's my favorite purple that they do. But to be honest, I want brighter colors to stand out against the darker ones. One, two, three, one. Two, three, one, two, another third there. Okay. So those are the purple soul stones. Oh no, I'm going to do one purple on one side of the sword. There we are. So then I'm just going to get out a lovely bright red for the third color of soulstone. He says there's Wild Rider Red that is a bit dried up, so I'm just giving it a good shake, and I'm going to actually use a different bottle of Wild Rider Red, hopefully. There we are. That one's nice and mixed up and not big and clumpy. So we start with less paint on my brush than that. Jesus Christ. There we are. Soulstone. Just seen 3 more soulstones I actually missed. So I'm just going to paint in those. And I'm going to use this Wild Rider Red on her earring, actually. I think that will look very pretty. Red on the back of the sword. It's annoying. I'm struggling to find things to talk about that aren't just kind of laying my soul bare. Don't quite have the audience for fully doing the whole parasocial relationship thing yet. And so yeah, if you're joining the chat, how you doing? Put it in the comments. Are you feeling all right? You feeling a bit down? Doesn't need to be a good reason for it. Just how do you feel? Sometimes I feel like as a society we need to be just more accepting of the idea. Sometimes people just feel a bit down. There doesn't need to be a rhyme or reason for it. So let's get back the Hexwraith Flame and the Genestealer Purple to just fill in the soul stones I missed, and then we need a lovely fourth colour for the headdress. Hexwraith Flame. I do kind of miss Hexwraith Flame being a technical, not gonna lie. Like, it's cool as a contrast, but yeah, I think I prefer it as a technical paint. Okay. And then let's get that purple back. Hey. I think that's all of them covered. Sweet. So let's get ourselves a fourth colour for the soul stones in the headdress. Now, I'm no expert on colour theory. What I have in my head is a vague notion of the colour wheel. So I will know that from colour wheel perspective, the opposite of blue is orange. Question of the hour is this: do I own an orange? The answer, no. So what I would do is try yellow, but my yellow is dried up. How is my auric armor gold? also dry. So, how about my Gehenna's gold? I ordered some more of this the weekend, so I feel like I can justify using a bit more than I would ordinarily feel comfortable using. Just getting a big dollop and putting it on this little palette I've got. My palette is actually the top of a packet of Pringles. And I'm going to mix this with some of the Wild Rider Red. That'll also help thin down the clumps, I hope. So that is giving an orange. It's a bit darker than I would like. So mix it up with something a bit lighter. Which is going to be the ever faithful. That's not enough in there. I'm going to mix it up with a little bit. Do I have Runefang Steel for this? A little bit of Runefang Steel. There we are, that's a nice colour, and that is going to be used on her headdress. So what I do for this, I've got a very thick brush I was using for mixing. And then I have and then what I'm doing is when I'm painting using the thin brush, I'm actually using the thicker brush where I did the mixing kind of as my pot as well as the little palette. There we are. That is the detail on Ivrain completed. So now is my least favourite step. So I've not done the eyes, but I want this model to stay looking good. And so I'm going to use the advice that was given to me from a different video of the eyes are black, and I'm not going to try doing the whites of the eyes and the irises and the pupils. It will look forever better like this than it will if I try and do the eyes. So, tidy up time. Start with the area that needs the most tidying, which is the cloak. Sigvald Burgundy. Blood Angel is red. Blood Angel is red. Carabug Crimson. That's Gorgrunt Fur. More Carabug Crimson. Agrax Earthshade. There we are. Luxian Purple. I knew it was somewhere. And this, I've got to touch up the dress. And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to flip over my Pringles lid, get more of the contrast onto it, get rid of the excess from my brush, use some of that paint water and just thin it down so it's no longer a contrast consistency, it's just a bit thinner than that. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go down the bit of the dress where I want stuff in the recesses but not on the tops, so it can all pull nicely down and through. There we are. Just like that, I've seen a couple more soul stones I didn't manage to paint up. Part of this stage as well is you're looking around the model again and seeing details that you might have missed. So yeah, there's one more soul stone there. Red, green. I'm actually going to use that orange again for that missed soul stone. Yeah. Then the next thing to do, have a look around, see what else needs tidying up. And okay, there's one more bit I can do a soulstone color on at the front of the headdress. One more earring. And then it's tidying up the base rim. So it was Gehenna's gold that I used for the base rim, and I want one more color for the middle soul gem, and I'm going to use a little bit more rune fang. Just have a silver accent there right in the middle. A very gold model. I think that will just provide a nice bit of contrast. There we are. Just seeing some more purple back here that needs to have some this kind of ink consistency purple. There we are. Then we'll just neaten up the Gehenna's gold around the base rim. And have another look to see if I'm happy enough to have this in my cabinet. An old phrase I really like, which is done is better than perfect. That's not to say rush the models, it's just that having something to show for your efforts is better than just dreaming about